Hi, everyone. Do you remember when you used to dress up? You'd buy a nice dress or new suit for a special event. Are those days over? I can remember that even when my grandmother would simply get on a plane, she was dressed to the nines.
Everybody's making immigration proposals these days. Let me add mine to the mix. Call it the Limbaugh laws. First, you immigrate to our country, you have to speak the native language. You have to be a professional or an investor. No unskilled workers allowed. Also, there'll be no special bilingual programs in the schools with the Limbaugh laws, no special ballots for elections, no government business will be conducted in your language. Now, you think the Limbaugh laws are harsh? Well, every one of the laws I just mentioned are actual laws of Mexico today.
Funny story about your guest tonight. So me, Zbigniew Brzezinski, and coach Mike Krzyzewski were chasing Slivovich shots with Zikuria chasers.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching us tonight. Rooting against the USA. That's the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. We have been over this turf before, but it's worth updating you on the fact that some Americans are hoping bad things happen to this country.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs?
The last time Al Gore went to the Capitol, it was for George W. Bush's first inauguration. One of his last round trips to Washington saw him second searched at the airport, coming and going, presumably because some screener didn't know the difference between Al Gore and Al-Qaeda.
The Fairness Doctrine, also known as the Democratic plan to silence conservatives, is slated to be a focus of hearings in the coming year. Now, the doctrine, which was eliminated during the Reagan years, had required that broadcasting outlets carry viewpoints from both liberals and conservatives.
I disagree with you, but for slightly different reasons. I was in talk radio during the Fairness Doctrine. You had to sign forms. You had to write every time there was a controversial guest. The net effect is stations back away from doing controversial programming.
You're probably not a big reader of her blog, but I just want to read a poem, or part of a poem, that she put on, which has sort of sparked this all up again. She sort of compares you to a pimp. She says, remember the 70s, a young girl in New York City meets a pimp. He cons her into a life of illusion. She works for him. Do you think she's calling you a pimp?
Welcome back. The legend of Karl Rove has been over a decade in the making, ever since he teamed up with George W. Bush in 1994 in a down-and-dirty defeat of Governor Ann Richards. And, of course, continuing with the wins over Gore and Kerry, the Bush-Rove team has developed a reputation for ruthlessness that's earned them the hatred of a lot of Democrats.